Okay, this is on a refrigeration unit on a roof to a wine cooler. This glass door wine cooler in a store. Now I installed this condensing unit a couple of years ago, maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. And in the interim between then and now, the customer wanted to save money, so he got somebody inexpensive to work on it. And apparently the compressor went bad, and I found the old compressor sitting over to the side over this way. This is a new compressor. The customer ended up paying for a brand new compressor when it was under warranty, but he lost. It became more expensive for him right there. Didn't save any money by using that guy. Apparently after he started up, he found that the pressure control was bad. It's a dual pressure control. It's got your low side function here and high side cutout function here, but it had gone bad, and this guy didn't bother removing the this old control and putting a new control in. He just left the old control where it was because he didn't want to pump it down, take the gas out of it apparently. And he just reconnected this one to the system. And this is an old one that he had apparently. It was all, you see, it's rusted. And he took the electric line out of the BX connector here, and he just thimbled it, and he laid the control on the ground. And you got water splashing over here. And it's just not safe. And you can see this control, it had leaked at one time, and he spliced in a 1/4-inch tube there, but it's got some miles on it. And I guess because it's up on a roof, he didn't think the owner would ever know about it. He probably charged the owner for it too. But anyhow, I'll show you the video if I repaired this in a few minutes. Okay. Now here's the unit. Let's see if I can get this stuff. Stop a second. Here's the unit. This is the one I installed a couple years ago. I made the sheet metal cover for it. I put electrical disconnect on it, and I use these. It's a waterproof electrical disconnect. This one's probably like, I don't know, 30 amps. It's got the knife switch on it. You pull it down. It's waterproof, and it doesn't have fuses in it. I don't want to have to change fuses, and or I don't want to have to find out that a fuse is bad on a Saturday night, and I don't have that exact fuse. And it's just a straight knife switch. I don't like the plug-in ones at all. I usually change them. I've put a lot of these on where plug-in switches. I know those plug-in switches are economical, especially if you quote a job and you're putting it in, trying to be inexpensive so you can make a little bit of money. I just don't like them. There's poor contact in them, and when you have poor contact like that going through it, because they're made in China, whatever, you strain the capacitors on startup and they blow. That's probably why a lot of air conditioning units have blown capacitors. It's just because of the poor electrical connection going into it. Well, here's a pitch box back here. The refrigeration line comes out and goes down so that the oil doesn't, when the unit shuts off, the oil won't drain back downstairs again. It's important for a system to have the oil come up to the compressor and get back to the compressor. And if oil comes up here and runs back down, you don't want that. So I put a sort of a trap in it like that. Here's the old compressor over here, and I'm about to pump it down. Here's my Appion and my vacuum pump and my solder equipment's over here. My solder equipment. This is my my trusty water bucket. I have my wet rags in it for brazing, and let's get the show rolling here. Come on. And this is my rubber mat. I use this a lot. It's a fatigue mat. It's for like standing next to a machine or something when you're working all day long. It's spongy, and this one's made by Cobalt. I got it at Lowe's, I think it was. I'll fold it in half and kneel on it. It's like extra spongy, like if I'm working on gravel, or if I'm on a hot roof. It saves your knees. If I have to lay down and it's wet, you know, it'll protect me somewhat. But it's if there's snow on the ground, it's excellent. It's a good idea. I use that a lot. I have a bigger one also. This is like 2 foot by 3 foot. I have one that's 4 foot wide. I got that one at Sears. It's like a red one. They have a couple different types. They're rolled up. It's in the automotive area where the sockets and the tool benches are. Okay. And here I've got the new pressure control here. Got my Schrader valves. Now this is something, I don't know if you can see it really well, but this is a magnet, and I use it all the time for hanging my gauges on it, and it goes on everything. It'll go on the head of a compressor, in a time clock, an air conditioning unit, a panel. It's really helpful, and it fits right into you know, your tool pouch. It sticks to like a crescent wrench or something like that. It works out pretty good. All right, let's see if I can get this to come on. Okay. My time clock there. Okay, this is after it's all installed. There's a new control, a new dryer filter. I put a Schrader T on here. This is, I'm pulling a vacuum on it now. This is my thermal vacuum gauge. And there's something else here too. So here's a condenser. The liquid comes out of the bottom of the condenser, goes into the receiver tank, out of the receiver tank, and through the dryer filter and sight glass, and downstairs to the expansion valve. Right here I put a T, and I hooked up my pressure control fitting there. A lot of people will put a brass T with a Schrader on it onto this T over here. And it's alright, but the little tube in it cracks sometimes. It's not such a great thing. This is more long-term and final. And what I do with my wires, my capillaries, I'll take my large screwdriver and I'll roll it up so it's tight, and it doesn't vibrate very much. Sometimes you'll see somebody will put one on, and the capillary tube will be up and down and everywheres, and it's just vibrating against everything, and it'll end up breaking. I put another Schrader valve over here, so that I hook up my vacuum pump to my vacuum pump gauge, my vacuum gauge to it, and it's a good way to if it's easy to, if in the future I don't have to, you know, take the cap off, back the valves in, you know, out or in, to put my gauges on. It's just very easy, high pressure hookup right there. And that works pretty good. Oh, and I do like to use, this is leak lock, blue leak lock. A lot of people use the Permatex. I just don't like that. I use it for the vacuum fittings, and if I have to change a gasket on a compressor, I'll smear it on that because it'll keep it lubricated, and so if I ever had to take it off again, that works good for that. But otherwise, if it's any connections on my dryer filters or anything like that, my fittings, brass fittings, I always use leak lock. I've used leak lock plus Teflon tape, the combination of the two, and never have a leak on it. It's always pretty solid. I've been using leak lock since, I don't know, the 70s, the 60s. It's been a long time. It used to smell like blue apples, or sweet apples. Okay, here it is. So now I've got a vacuum pulled on it, and I'm going to charge it up and get it running, and life will be good in paradise once again. The wine cooler, the wine will be cold. It's a glass door wine cooler. I think it's like $8.